Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus once again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Today, we're getting ready to wrap up the 2018 midterm elections here in the state of Minnesota, in the city of Woodbury. I'm sure that most of you have gotten a chance to cast your votes. And for those of you who heard that I had entered a proposal into the arena, I want you to know that for all practical purposes, the proposal that I offered was rejected. And I want you to understand it was rejected. The proposal was rejected. I was not rejected. See, I remember when Donald Trump was running for office, he went around the country and told people to vote for Donald Trump, even though we're not on the ballot. Just vote for Donald Trump. He was that important. Vote for him, he can get whatever he wants. So you're not concerned about the program, or unless you know what the program is. And my God, everybody on the other side who are not of Trump are threatened by what he represents. But anyway, that's what they are voting on, and whether it's Republican or Democrats that win, the offer that I made was rejected. Now, the reason that it was rejected is because of what it represented. It represented not what the Democrats or Republicans or we as people who have been around here in this system so long for are looking for. It represented what God offers to all of us: peace, prosperity, and joy of life. Things that are essential for our survival: food, clothing, education, health care, being made available to every last one of us and guaranteed to us that everyone might have a career of their own choosing. So by all of the things that's needed to meet the wants and desires of the people can be met. That was God's plan. It would produce the fulfillment of your dreams without lying, without cheating, without stealing, without terror, without war, without racism, and without bigotry. But they rejected that proposal. They rejected that proposal. You see, a long time ago, many of you might remember, they kicked God out of the arena. They didn't want God in school. They didn't want God anywhere except you want to put him in a building over there. You go over there and stay and do what you want over there. We'll give you money. We'll give you tax breaks. Just go over there, stay over there and do your thing. Don't come out here talking no trash, because we don't play that. And so that's what they have been doing. So the main reason that they kicked God out of the arena is so that, what is it? You know the answer. What? The daily life of the slave master can show. The daily life of the slave master. See, the slave master wants to run this thing. So you can't run it if God is there. And so when I come in talking about God's plan, they say it's too good to be true. But now, who is the slave master? The slave master is the one who kills and destroys anything to have their rule supreme. To have what? Their rule supreme. Isn't that exactly what the Republicans are talking about? That's what they talk about. Democrats might mean it, but they don't say it. Republicans and conservatives talk about, we want to run things, get rid of everything, because the Democrats are going to tear down everything. So we got to preserve everything. So that means you got to turn the Democrats into a slave. You see, today, Americans want to punish any nation that it cannot control. When Trump came into office and the Republicans got together, the first thing they wanted to do was try to, as Trump said, bring some equality back to the system. America's been had. So Trump came in, wanted to destroy every proposal and everything that's been set up, because he's not the boss. And he's the only one who has the boss of this thing. And so he wants to attack some of the places that people have in this country have been satisfied with. He want to attack Iran. And because Iran won't buckle down to what they want to do, what the slave master wants them to do. So now, in order to get them to do that, they want to put in some plans that would deny Iranians some of the benefits that they have been receiving from this country. Now, and they have threatened to reinforce this, that the nations that continue to try to get oil from Iran will have sanctions levied against them. So now you got sanctions levied against the Iranian people. You got sanctions levied against the people who are trying to keep their energy crisis going, energy force on top. That's because they're getting energy from Iran. And who's the boss that's trying to punish everybody? Iran and anybody? Is the United States of America. They are the ones, the big bosses, who say they got the biggest military, say they're the most and greatest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. You better watch that stuff, because if you are the ones to whom much is given, much is required of you. And if you're trying to take that much that you've been given to abuse others, Lord have mercy. Please somebody tell her. Please somebody tell it. This is exactly what Germany thought. They could do this. This is exactly what Mussolini thought. They could do this. And people way before then, way back in those days, they always thought they could do this. And now here we are, the people of the United States of America have gotten a little blessing. Now they want to flex their muscle as if nobody else is important, because we got the big muscles that'll choke the life out of you if you don't do what we say. And some of the American people are so naive and dumb and ignorant enough to say, why shouldn't we? We the baddest nation. Why shouldn't we force others to do what we want? Why shouldn't we force other nations to sell us gas for 20 cents so our people can get a lot of benefit out of the situation? And it doesn't matter that the nations that would be getting 20 cents is robbed. As long as you're God, you don't care. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're dealing with every day. Sanctions on these other people. Pain and suffering on the people. Pain and suffering on the people, just so you can say you the boss. Well, you, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are blind, God loves you. That's why the program, that's why the plan that would offer you all of the wonderful things I just mentioned to you, that's why they were offered. So that God could give you a chance to make a decision this time. Do you want to go with God's plan that works for everybody? Or do you want to keep on working with man's plan? And when I say man's plan, I'm taking it away from Donald Trump and the conservatives, because if it weren't Donald Trump and the conservatives, it would be Democrats and liberals. And if it were not those, then it could be a Liberal Party or Green Party, anybody doing basically the same kinds of things that represent them and not represent God. And so all of you people out there, God loves you. Had made plans, and the plans are still there, that you will never be homeless. You'll never be without food and clothes. You'd never be without education unless you choose it. It's there for you. You'll never be without health care. And you'll never be without a career you're choosing that makes you part owners of all that exists. That's what God offered. You rejected that message. I know you rejected because you were blind. God knows you rejected because you were blind. But the truth is, you keep telling everybody you can see. You keep telling everybody you can see. And while you're around here telling everybody you can see, people who ain't thinking about God looking at you laughing, because you make, if there is a God, you make God look sick. And so they do not believe that you can make God look sick. So they just don't believe there's a God. They don't believe there's a God by the way you act. It reminds me when the Hebrew children walked out of Egypt land. They wanted Donald Trump to come in and put the walls up and to build houses so that they can all have houses and don't have to worry about it. Donald Trump would take care of it. And when I say Donald Trump, I'm talking about Donald Trump-like. They'll just take care of it. That's what they expected Moses to do. That's what they expected Joshua to do. And that's what you expect God to do. But it's not going to happen that way. The plan has been made. The way to do it has been made. But the responsibility of doing it is in your hand, which will be governed by your choices. Yes, the things you were on your knees praying for this morning and yesterday evening was offered to you for the past 30 or 40 years, and each time you rejected it. So tonight, you who are at the poll voting, every last one of you are losers. I want to say this again. Every last one of you are losers. And I know that most of you who think that I was running, and you know that you didn't vote for me, which I didn't want you to vote for me. I never asked you to vote for me. You're laughing because you think I'm stupid and silly. You think you cut me down. If you don't think you cut me down, you think that whatever you did is something for you to have fun of. But what you don't know is that you cut out your heaven. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. There's no more I can do about it. But I want to thank you for just listening to me at this moment in time. Bye-bye.